When in doubt, it's always enjoyable to wear a nice, refreshing, citrus-dominated fragrance. And in this video, I've got 10 of my favorites that I want to discuss with you. Stay tuned. So these first few have a strong similarity to one another, with the first one being the one they all smell like, and that's DIOR Homme Cologne. This essentially smells like an ice-cold glass of lemonade. It's one that's been referred to many a times, and I completely agree with that. The juice has even got a cloudy color that almost looks like lemonade as well. Very simplistic note breakdown, grapefruit blossom and stuff like that, but it just smells like a strong citrus bomb of lemon and grapefruit. It has a gorgeous lemonade smell. None of these are going to be some beast mode level performers, with the exception of one fragrance in this video, which is a beast mode performer. But light, airy, super refreshing, and like I said, smells like lemonade. They're still available all over the place. The quality is definitely there because it is DIOR, so it doesn't smell like some overly synthetic citrus fragrance, but definitely one of the best ones out there. Again, that's DIOR Homme Cologne. Moving right into a cheapie that has a lot of similarities with it. Of course, I'm talking about Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Now, this one performance is on the subpar, below average side. Look at this beautiful atomizer, though. Has that similar lemonade type of smell, but this one features a bit more grassy, fresh vetiver. Still super refreshing. Only about a 3-hour fragrance, but you can get big 100 ml bottles for right under $30 from discounters online. 50 mls like this in the 20 some odd dollar range. Even though not a really strong performer, many uses for this one. This is a great refresher. This always smells fantastic. It's hard to go wrong, especially on a hot summer's day. It'll definitely refresh you. Again, that's Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Next is one of the more difficult fragrances to find that smells like DIOR Homme Cologne but performs better than DIOR Homme Cologne or Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Of course, I'm talking about the famed Mercedes-Benz Cologne, which I am lucky enough to have a 75 ml backup bottle of as well. This one's citruses, it's orange, it's mandarin orange, it's lemon, it's grapefruit, it's all sorts of citruses. It smells very similar to DIOR Homme Cologne, but this one's actually quite the performer. I get about 6 hours on my skin with this one, with pretty good projection in that first hour and a half, 2 hours, with a nice little mild to moderate scent trail for about another hour or two after that. I don't know how the newer bottles perform, but this older bottle definitely does the trick. There was a time when you could get these around $30 from discounters for these 4-ounce bottles, and that was when I got it. Before they became scarce was when I got this. I got to spray it again because it is so good. If you can find this one for a decent price, this is definitely the way to go, in my opinion, because you're going to get a very similar scent quality to DIOR Homme Cologne. It's even a little bit more citrusy than DIOR Homme Cologne, and it performs a little bit better. 6 to 7 hour fragrance. I mean, 7 hours if you spray your clothes and you have a really good skin chemistry with it. That's a best case scenario, but I've even had people tell me they get around 8 hours with this one. Not saying they don't, because I totally believe it, because there's some fragrances I get phenomenal performance with that others don't. And this one smells incredible. One of the best smelling fragrances in this video, in my opinion, for sure. This is a gem in itself. Used to be cheap, not so much. It's pretty scarce these days. When it pops up, the word spreads quickly and it sells out fast. So when you see it pop up and you can get it for a decent price, don't hesitate. This is an incredibly refreshing citrus bomb, and that's Mercedes-Benz Cologne. What has become my favorite of the DIOR Homme Cologne type smelling fragrances is definitely Chanel Allure Homme Sport Cologne Sport. Now, it has been reformulated to where it's just Allure Homme Sport Cologne. Doesn't have the second sport. It's just a reformulated version, essentially. Does smell very similar. This one's got probably the highest quality of the four. This one is more of a gentlemanly, super citrus refreshing fragrance because it has a lot of other notes going for it. This one's got the most elaborate note breakdown The vetiver is very prominent in this. You have a lot of woods. There's a little bit of herbal components going for it. With this having the most citrus, I want to say it's like 6 or 7 different citrus notes in here. It's gorgeous. It does perform pretty well. Also, it's about a 6-hour fragrance, which for something that's dominated with citruses, that's pretty good. Even though it's average overall, it's kind of above average for a refreshing citrus type of fragrance such as this one. Like I said, it's that Chanel quality you've come to expect. This is definitely the most expensive one, but it also smells like the most expensive one. And you can get big old 5-ounce bottles like this. This is a tester bottle. That's why it has the Accord grid on the back. But definitely has become my favorite of the bunch, and one that I urge you to sample or try if you can, wherever they sell Chanel fragrances or the Homme line. Definitely check this one out because it's a damn good fragrance. Homme Sport, Eau Extreme, and all those other ones get all the fame, but this is a damn good fragrance in itself. Homme Sport Cologne Sport. Now there's a trade-off with this one because it's super refreshing. It smells incredible. Yes, it's synthetic, but it still smells so incredible. But the performance is very weak on it. I'm talking about Kenneth Cole Reaction. Recently reacquired this one to my collection. Wore it several nights in a row out the shower. It smells great. My wife loves this one. It basically smells like watermelon juice. It really does. There's other citruses going in here, but the most dominant thing you're going to smell, and it's going to stand out, is the watermelon note in here. Beautiful, super refreshing, mega refreshing. Such a good scent. Sadly, only about a 2-hour fragrance. There are uses for 2-hour fragrances. Don't let that deter you because it is a cheapie. You can get your hands on it. Very cheap. Great on those vacations, like I've been wearing it out the shower, hanging around the house. Just a nice refresher, gym scent. Go and run an errand real quick. Go and run up the street to the store to pick something up, and you just want to refresh yourself. That's what fragrances like this are just built for, in my opinion. Never was a strong performer in its early days either. Just a weaker performer now, but smells absolutely wonderful if you like the smell of watermelon. Again, that's Kenneth Cole Reaction. You know, for being as musky and fresh spicy as this one can be, up top it is just a mega citrus bomb. Super refreshing, super popular. We're talking about VERSACE Man Eau Fraiche. So there are other ways to smell like this DNA. Obviously, Mont Blanc Starwalker, a little bit cheaper, has a bamboo note added to it. It's more relaxing than it is refreshing. Zaharoff Sport, my personal favorite, cheaper version of it. Smells pretty much the same, just about half the price from discounters, $20 to $25. And then there's always the more floral touch, which is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women. Smells like VERSACE Man Eau Fraiche with added florals. But for the most delicious and most refreshing citrus bomb of that DNA, obviously the original is going to be the way to go. Not super expensive from discounters. You can get 100 ml bottles in the 40 some odd dollar range, which in my opinion is fair, but if you want to save a few bucks, you can go with the Zaharoff Sport where you can find it. You'll spend about $25 on that one. It gets about the same performance around that 5-hour range. Smells about the same. Beautiful citrus medley up top, and like I said, it's got a clean, very clean white musk and fresh spicy accord going for it throughout the heart and dry down. It's summer in a bottle. It's one of the best fresh fragrances on the market. Has been for a very long time. It's one that I'm sure most of you have heard of, have tried, or potentially have had a bottle of. And I can guarantee you, your lady loves the way this one smells too if you already have it. Again, that's VERSACE. This is Man Eau Fraiche. Currently sold out, but I'm sure, from what I understand, they will be restocking soon. This is the beast mode fragrance in this video. You're going to get around 10 hours with this one, at least on my skin. That's what I get. Very loud as well, and it is a citrus bomb up top. There's a beautiful citrus melody. Tangerine orange, mandarin orange, mandarin orange, lime. There's just so much citruses up top. In Authenticity Perfumes, Summer Vibes. This is still my favorite fragrance from the house. It is the freshy citrus bomb from them. It's a must in my opinion. It's very soapy. The opening can be reminiscent of a lot of fragrances, but as it starts to dry, it really separates itself. This one has a lot of character, most notably this mild herbaceous cannabis note that comes into the heart through the dry down. It doesn't make it dark, it doesn't make it heavy, it just makes it a little bit different. Still remains fresh through the entire life of the fragrance, but up top it is super soapy shower gel, mega citrus and ultra refreshing. And the beauty of it, it performs. It is the fragrance in this video that performs the best as far as longevity. And with it being such a heavy oil concentration, it does not lack in projection. People will smell you with this one. Again, that's Summer Vibes from Authenticity Perfumes. One of those discontinued gems that if you can still find for a decent price in different places, it's still a must-own in my opinion. I'm talking about Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Bunch of orange and grapefruit up top make this just a citrus delight. Super citrusy and fresh up top with this beautiful creamy almond that makes this smell like no other. It really has a unique character to it for being a citrus dominated fragrance. That creamy almond mixing with it just changes the game. It's sad that they discontinued this one because I still believe this is a fantastic fragrance. I do have a backup bottle of this one as well. It's worth owning in my opinion. The stock hasn't completely dried up. They're still out there. The prices have just gone up a little bit, but even at the $50 price point, I still believe it's worth it. If it's above that, I don't know if I would spend that, but if you can find it for $50 or less for a 100 milliliter bottle, I say it's still worth it because around 50 bucks is what I'm paying for the other flankers from discounters. So it's worth it in my opinion. And one that if you haven't gotten your hands on yet, you're running low on time because the stock has been drying up over the last 2 years because it's been heavily featured in the community for good reason because it's a damn good fragrance. And it's a very unique, refreshing citrus bomb. It's Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Soapy lavender and super crisp and fresh citron. So the first fragrance, the only fragrance in this list actually, that features a dominant citron note. I'm talking about Prada Luna Rossa. This is the O Sport flanker. Actually, I had somebody in the comments yesterday ask me about this one. Forgot the question. Oh, it was if I tried it, and of course I have. I featured it in a few videos. This is another one that, not a real strong performer, but a gorgeous smell. The two main things you're going to smell is that citron and lavender. Very soapy lavender. As a lot of you know, nobody does soapy fragrances in the designer realm like Prada. Whether it's lavender, whether it's iris, they just do soapy really well. And this is another one. Beautiful soapy, but mega citrus. That citron is dominant in this one. It smells awesome. Not a long-lasting fragrance. 2 or 3 hours. But so bright and uplifting, projects pretty heavy because it's so light and volatile up top. You will garner some attention in that 2 or 3 hours, and you're going to love the way you smell for sure. This is one that gets overlooked, that not a lot of people talk about because it's got its specific uses. It's not an all-day spray. It's not something that if you're going to be gone for more than 3 hours that you're not going to want to have with you to refresh. If you're going for your work day, you're going to want to keep the bottle or a decant with you because you're going to need to refresh. Performance is not a strong suit. The scent profile is. Great refresher, great. It smells expensive for a gem scent, to be honest with you, because it does have a class. It is a Prada fragrance, so far from cheap and synthetic. But a great soapy, fresh fragrance for sure. Spray it one more time. Man, that's some good stuff. Again, that's Prada Luna Rossa, the O Sport flanker. Last but not least, if you see this one out at the rack stores, Burlington, places like that, which is where this bottle came from and where I still see them popping up, get your hands on CK1 Summer 2019. The 2020 is really good, don't get me wrong, the green bottle. I find that's more geared towards the summer evenings. It's an ambery type of fragrance, whereas this is ultra fresh. It shows a 3-note note breakdown with tea and all that. It smells like it's got a whole lot more going for it than that. Super fresh, very citrus dominant. Smells like summer in a bottle. I mean, it's perfect as a summer flanker. The color scheme's fitting for it because I am thinking yellows and oranges and blues, watery, aquatic, citrusy, orangey, grapefruit, lemony type of stuff. It's just So refreshing. Not a beast performer as most citrus heavy fragrances are. 3 to 4 hour type of stuff in that below average range, but about average for what a super fresh fragrance like this would be considered in longevity. And just a damn good one that I'm so glad I got my hands on. Again, this is the 2019 flanker of CK1 Summer, and if you're looking for something that's ultra refreshing, that doesn't tell the whole story in the note breakdown, it's CK1 Summer 2019. Well guys, that's the video, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. Love hearing from you guys. How many of these do you have already? How many of these have you been itching to get your hands on? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances discussed in this video and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.